Do you want to successfully complete the D075 Objective Assessment exam? Then you are in the right place. Our website provides a list of questions and answers for your success in the D075 OA exam for free. We understand that acing your OA exam can be quite challenging. That's why we provide completely free exam guides and practice questions for you. In this video, we will cover questions from computer hardware, networking concepts, data management, cybersecurity threats, and cloud computing. So, let's get started. 1. Which storage device uses integrated circuits and flash memory to store data persistently? A. Optical disk. B. Solid-state drive. C. Hard disk drive. D. RAM. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Solid-state drive. Explanation: option B is correct because a solid-state drive is like a super-fast and modern USB stick for your computer. It uses special memory chips to hold onto your files, games and programs, even when the computer is turned off. It has no moving parts, which makes it quick. Option A is incorrect because an optical disc uses a laser to read tiny bits on a spinning disk, not flash memory chips. Option C is incorrect because a traditional hard disk drive uses spinning magnetic platters and a moving arm to store data. It doesn't use flash memory. Option D is incorrect because RAM does use integrated circuits, but it's like the computer's short-term memory. It forgets everything when the power goes off. It's not for persistent storage. 2. Which of the following is a computer network that covers a large geographical area and connects LANs, CANs, and MANs together? A. Local area network. B. Wide area network. C. Campus area network. D. Metropolitan area network. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Wide area network. Explanation: option B is correct because a wide area network is like a giant web that connects computers and smaller networks like LANs in different offices over huge distances across cities, states, or even countries. The internet itself is the biggest example of a WAN. Option A is incorrect because a LAN is a small network, usually just in one building like your home or school. Option C is incorrect because a CAN connects networks across a campus, like a university or a big company's grounds, which is bigger than a LAN but much smaller than a WAN. Option D is incorrect because a MAN covers a city-sized area, connecting various LANs within that city. It's also smaller than a WAN. 3. Which component allows network devices to communicate by forwarding data to the correct location? A. Router. B. Firewall. C. Switch. D. Hub. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Switch. Explanation: option C is correct because a switch is like a smart traffic cop for your local network. When one computer wants to send something to another, the switch looks at the address and sends the data only to the computer it's meant for, not bothering everyone else. Option A is incorrect because a router's main job is to connect different networks together and figure out the best path for data to travel between them. A switch works within one network. Option B is incorrect because a firewall is like a security guard for your network, checking data to make sure it's safe and blocking bad stuff. It doesn't primarily forward data to specific locations within the network. Option D is incorrect because a hub is an older, less efficient version of a switch. When it gets data, it sends it out to every connected device, whether it's for them or not. 4. Which of the following defines a file system that stores data in tables connected by relationships? A. Flat file database. B. network database, C, relational database, D, hierarchical database. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C, relational database. Explanation: option C is correct because a relational database is super organized, storing information in tables that look a bit like spreadsheets. Each table holds a certain type of information, and these tables can be linked together based on common info. This relationship between tables is key. Option A is incorrect because a flat file database is simpler, usually just one big table or list, without those connections between multiple tables. Option B is incorrect because while it can link data, it does so in a more web-like or network structure that can be more complex to manage than the clear table relationships of a relational database. Option D is incorrect because a hierarchical database organizes data like a family tree with parent and child records. It's structured, but not primarily as tables connected by flexible relationships. 5. What is the purpose of a firewall in network security? A. To speed up network traffic. B. To prevent unauthorized access to a network. C. To establish virtual private networks. D. To allocate network bandwidth. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. To prevent unauthorized access to a network. Explanation: option B is correct because a firewall acts like a digital security guard for your computer or network. It checks the data trying to come in or go out and blocks anything that looks suspicious or isn't allowed by its rules. Its main job is to keep unauthorized programs out. Option A is incorrect because a firewall has to inspect traffic, which can sometimes slow it down a tiny bit. Option C is incorrect because while a firewall might be part of a setup that uses a VPN, creating the VPN itself is usually done by specific VPN software or hardware. Option D is incorrect because managing how much internet speed different devices get is typically handled by a router or other network management tools. Six, which memory component provides temporary storage that allows data to be accessed in any order without physical movement of media? A. Cache memory. B. Solid-state drive. C. Random access memory. D. Registers. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Random access memory. Explanation: option C is correct because random access memory is like the computer's super-fast scratch pad or workbench. Random access means it can jump to any piece of stored information instantly, no matter where it is, without having to search through other data first, and it has no moving parts like a spinning disk. It's temporary, so it clears out when you turn the computer off. Option A is incorrect because cache is even faster than RAM, but much smaller. It holds the most frequently used bits from RAM for the CPU. RAM is the main temporary storage being described. Option B is incorrect because an SSD is for long-term storage. It keeps data when the power is off, not temporary storage in this context. Option D is incorrect because registers are tiny, ultra-fast memory spots located right inside the CPU. They hold the data the CPU is working on at that very microsecond. RAM is the larger general-purpose temporary storage area. Seven. Which of the following network topologies creates a physical layout in the shape of a star? A. Ring topology. B. Bus topology. C. Star topology. D. Mesh topology. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Star topology. Explanation: option C is correct because in a star topology, all the computers and devices on the network are connected directly to a central device, like a switch or a hub. If you drew a picture of it, it would look like a star with the central device in the middle and lines going out to each computer like points of the star. Option A is incorrect because in a ring, devices are connected one after another in a circle, like people holding hands. Option B is incorrect because in a bus, all devices are connected to a single main cable, like stops along a bus route. Option D is incorrect because in a mesh, devices can be connected to many other devices, creating lots of different paths, like a spider web. Eight. Which of the following is responsible for managing the operations of the CPU and all other hardware components? A. Application software. B. Network software. C. Operating system. D. Database software. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: C. Operating system. Explanation: option C is correct because the operating system is the main software that controls everything. It tells the CPU what to do, manages memory, handles all the hardware parts, and lets your other programs run smoothly. Option A is incorrect because application software programs do specific tasks for you and rely on the OS. Option B is incorrect because network software helps your computer talk to other computers, but the OS is in charge of the overall computer operations. Option D is incorrect because database software is a special application used to organize and store large amounts of data and does not manage the whole computer. Nine. Which device allows a computer to connect to a wired network? A. Switch. B. Ethernet cable. C. Network interface card. D. Router. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: C. Network interface card. Explanation: option C is correct because the network interface card, sometimes called an Ethernet card or network adapter, is the actual piece of hardware inside your computer. It has the special port where you plug in the Ethernet cable to join a wired network. Option A is incorrect because a switch is a separate box that multiple computers plug into using their NICs. The NIC is what's in your computer. Option B is incorrect because the Ethernet cable is just the cord that carries the network signals. You need a NIC in your computer to plug the cable into. Option D is incorrect because a router is a device that usually connects your whole network to the internet. Your computer uses its NIC to connect to the router, or a switch. 10. Which type of memory is faster than RAM, but with limited storage capacity? A. Cache memory. B. Virtual memory. C. Disk storage. D. Solid-state drive. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: A. Cache memory. Explanation: option A is correct because cache memory is like a tiny, super speedy holding area right next to or inside the CPU, the computer's brain. It keeps copies of the data and instructions that the CPU uses most often, so the CPU can grab them instantly instead of waiting for the slightly slower RAM. It's small but very fast. Option B is incorrect because virtual memory is a trick, where the computer uses part of its hard drive as extra RAM when the real RAM gets full. This is much slower than RAM, not faster. Option C is incorrect because disk storage, like a hard drive, is for long-term storage and is much slower than RAM and way slower than cache. Option D is incorrect because an SSD, while faster than a traditional hard drive, is still for long-term storage and is slower than RAM, and definitely much slower than cache memory. 11. Which storage device uses integrated circuits and flash memory to store data persistently? A. Optical disk, B. Solid state drive, C. Hard disk drive, D. RAM. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Solid state drive. Explanation: option B is correct because a solid state drive is like a very advanced and large USB flash drive that lives inside your computer. It uses special chips called flash memory, which are integrated circuits to store all your data even when the computer is turned off. This is what persistently means. Option A is incorrect because optical discs like CDs or DVDs store data using a laser to read tiny pits on a reflective surface, not flash memory. Option C is incorrect because a traditional hard disk drive stores data using magnets on spinning platters, kind of like a miniature record player. It doesn't use flash memory chips. Option D is incorrect because RAM, random access memory, is temporary memory. It uses integrated circuits, but it forgets everything as soon as the power is cut, so it's not for persistent storage. 12. Which of the following is a computer network that covers a large geographical area and connects local area networks, campus area networks, and metropolitan area networks together? A. Local area network, B. Wide area network, C. Campus area network, D. Metropolitan area network. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, D. Wide area network. Explanation: option B is correct because a wide area network is like a super network that stretches over very big distances. Think of it connecting offices in different cities, or even different countries. It links up smaller networks like local area networks, campus area networks, and metropolitan area networks to create one huge interconnected system. The internet is the ultimate wide area network. Option A is incorrect because a local area network is small, usually just within one building or a small group of buildings. Option C is incorrect because a campus area network is for a specific area, like a university campus, or a business park bigger than a local area network, but not as vast as a wide area network. Option D is incorrect because a metropolitan area network covers a city. It's larger than a campus area network, but still doesn't have the continent spanning or global reach of a wide area network. Which component allows network devices to communicate by forwarding data to the correct location? A. Router, B. Firewall, C. Switch, D. Hub. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Switch. Explanation: option C is correct because a switch is like a smart traffic controller for your local network. When one device sends data to another on the same network, the switch looks at the destination address and sends the data only to that specific device. This keeps traffic flowing smoothly and efficiently. Option A is incorrect because a router's main job is to connect different networks together and guide traffic between them. A switch manages traffic within a single network. Option B is incorrect because a firewall is a security guard. It inspects data to block threats, but isn't primarily responsible for directing normal data to specific devices within a local network. Option D is incorrect because a hub is an older, less intelligent device. When it receives data, it just broadcasts it to all connected devices, which is not very efficient. 14. Which of the following defines a file system that stores data in tables connected by relationships? A. Flat file database, B. Network database, C. Relational database, D. Hierarchical database. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Relational database. Explanation. Option C is correct because a relational database is a way of organizing information into tables with rows and columns, linked together using common pieces of information. Option A is incorrect because a flat file database stores information in a single table or simple text file without complex links. Option B is incorrect because a network database allows more complex web-like connections between records. Option D is incorrect because a hierarchical database organizes data in a tree-like structure, with parent records having child records. 15. What is the purpose of a firewall in network security? A. To speed up network traffic. B. To prevent unauthorized access to a network. C. To establish virtual private networks. D. To allocate network bandwidth. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. To prevent unauthorized access to a network. Explanation. Option B is correct because a firewall acts like a security guard standing at the entrance of your network or computer. It inspects all the data trying to get in or out, and based on a set of rules decides whether to allow it or block it. Its main job is to stop hackers, viruses, and other unwanted traffic from getting in and causing trouble. Option A is incorrect because inspecting traffic can actually take a little time, so a firewall might slightly slow things down, but its job is security, not speed. Option C is incorrect because while firewalls are important for overall network security, creating the secure VPN tunnel itself is usually handled by dedicated VPN software or hardware. Option D is incorrect because managing how much internet speed different applications or devices get is typically a function of a router or specialized network management tools, not the firewall. 16. Which memory component provides temporary storage that allows data to be accessed in any order without physical movement of media? A. Cache memory. B. Solid-state drive. C. Random access memory. D. Registers. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Random access memory. Explanation. Option C is correct because random access memory is like the computer's short-term memory, or its active workspace. The random access part means the computer can jump directly to any piece of data stored in RAM very quickly, no matter where it's physically located on the memory chips, and there are no moving parts like a spinning disk. It's temporary because it forgets everything when you turn off the power. Option A is incorrect because cache is an even smaller and faster type of temporary memory that holds the most frequently accessed data from RAM to speed up the CPU. RAM is the main general-purpose temporary storage. Option B is incorrect because an SSD is for permanent storage. It keeps data when the power is off, even though it allows fast, random access. Option D is incorrect because registers are tiny, super-fast storage locations inside the CPU itself, holding only the data the CPU is working on at that exact moment. 17. Which of the following network topologies creates a physical layout in the shape of a star? A. Ring topology. B. Bus topology. C. Star topology. D. Mesh topology. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Star topology. Explanation. Option C is correct because in a star topology, every computer or network device connects directly to a central device. If you were to draw it, it would look like a star, with the central device at the center and lines radiating out to each of the other devices. Option A is incorrect because in a ring, devices are connected in a circle. with each device connected to two neighbours, forming a continuous loop. Option B is incorrect because in a bus, all devices are connected to a single common cable, like stops on a bus line. Option D is incorrect because in a mesh, devices can have multiple connections to other devices, creating a web-like structure with many possible paths for data. Which of the following is responsible for managing the operations of the CPU and all other hardware components? A. Application software. B. Network software. C. Operating system. D. Database software. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Operating system. Explanation. Option C is correct because the operating system, such as Windows, macOS, Linux or Android, is the master controller of the entire computer. It's the core software that manages the CPU, memory, storage, and all other hardware parts. It also provides the platform for all your application software to run. Option A is incorrect because application software includes programs designed for specific user tasks, like writing documents or browsing the web. These applications rely on the OS to manage the hardware. Option B is incorrect because network software deals specifically with enabling communication between computers on a network, but the OS has broader control over all hardware. Option D is incorrect because database software is a specialized application for creating, managing, and accessing databases. It doesn't manage the fundamental operations of the CPU and all other hardware. Which device allows a computer to connect to a wired network? A. Switch. B. Ethernet cable. C. Network interface card. D. Router. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Network interface card. Explanation. Option C is correct because a network interface card, also often called an Ethernet card or network adapter, is the physical piece of hardware inside your computer that has the port where you plug in an Ethernet cable and lets your computer send and receive data over a wired network. Option A is incorrect because a switch is a separate networking device that multiple computers connect to, and each computer needs its own network interface card. Option B is incorrect because the Ethernet cable is just the physical wire that carries the network signals, and the computer needs a network interface card to plug this cable into. Option D is incorrect because a router is a device that typically connects your local network to other networks, and your computer uses its network interface card to connect to the router. Which type of memory is faster than RAM but with limited storage capacity? A. Cache memory. B. Virtual memory. C. Disk storage. D. Solid-state drive. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, A. Cache memory. Explanation. Option A is correct because cache memory is a small amount of extremely fast memory that's located very close to, or even inside the CPU, the computer's brain. It stores copies of the data and instructions that the CPU is likely to need again very soon. Because it's so fast and close, it helps the CPU work much more quickly than if it had to get everything from the slightly slower RAM. It has a limited capacity because it's expensive to make this super fast memory. Option B is incorrect because virtual memory is a technique where the computer uses a portion of its hard drive, or SSD, as if it were extra RAM. This is much slower than actual RAM, not faster. Option C is incorrect because disk storage, like a traditional hard disk drive, is used for long-term storage and is significantly slower than RAM, and vastly slower than cache memory. Option D is incorrect because while SSDs are much faster than traditional hard drives, They are still a form of long-term storage and are slower than RAM, and definitely much slower than cache memory. 21. Which data type cannot be easily processed or organized due to its unstructured format? A. Structured data. B. Unstructured data. C. Semi-structured data. D. Normalized data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Unstructured data. Explanation. Option B is correct because unstructured data is information that doesn't have a nice, neat, predefined organization. Think of things like emails, social media posts, videos, audio recordings, or complex documents. Because it doesn't fit into tidy rows and columns, it's much harder for computers to automatically understand, search, and analyze it without special tools. Option A is incorrect because structured data is highly organized, usually in tables with clear fields and records like a spreadsheet, making it easy to process. Option C is incorrect because semi-structured data has some level of organization, often using tags or markers like in XML or JSON files, which makes it more processable than unstructured data, but less so than fully structured data. Option D is incorrect because normalized data is a specific type of structured data in a database that has been carefully organized to reduce repetition and improve consistency. It's designed to be easily processed. 22. Which type of topology is least commonly used due to its inefficiency in scaling for large networks? A. Star topology. B. Ring topology. C. Bus topology. D. Mesh topology. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Ring topology. Explanation. Option B is correct because in a ring topology, data packets usually travel from one computer to the next in a circle until they reach their destination. As you add more computers to the ring, each packet might have to pass through many intermediate computers, which can slow down the whole network. Also, if one computer or a section of the cable in the ring fails, it can break the entire ring and stop all communication. This makes it inefficient for large, growing networks. Option A is incorrect because star topology, which uses a central switch or hub, generally scales well and is very common. Adding new devices is relatively easy. Option C is incorrect because while bus topology also has scaling issues like signal degradation and collisions with too many devices, ring topology's data passing mechanism and single point of failure for the entire loop often make it less efficient for large scaling. Option D is incorrect because while a full mesh is expensive to scale cabling-wise, partial mesh topologies are often used in large networks because they provide redundancy and can handle growth well. 23. What is the term used for a situation where a computer or its resources become unavailable to its users due to an attack? A. Denial of service. B. Phishing. C. Trojan horse. D. Keylogging. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, A. Denial of service. Explanation. Option A is correct because a denial of service attack is when an attacker floods a system with traffic, overwhelming it and preventing legitimate users from accessing it. Option B is incorrect because phishing is an attempt to deceive individuals into revealing personal information. Option C is incorrect because a Trojan horse is malicious software disguised as legitimate software. Option D is incorrect because keylogging is the act of recording keystrokes, usually to steal sensitive information. 24. Which data processing approach allows you to run daily reports on inventory and sales? A. Transaction processing system. B. Online analytical processing. C. Data mining. D. Relational database management system. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Online analytical processing. Explanation. Option B is correct because online analytical processing is a technology that's great for looking at business data from different angles to find trends and insights. Running daily reports on things like inventory levels and sales figures, maybe breaking them down by region or time period, is exactly what OLAP tools are designed for. They let you slice and dice the data to get the views you need for analysis. Option A is incorrect because a TPS is focused on capturing and recording day-to-day business events, like a sale at a cash register or an item being received into inventory. It collects the raw data that an OLAP system might later analyze. Option C is incorrect because data mining is more about using advanced techniques to discover new or hidden patterns and relationships in very large data sets, rather than running regular, predefined reports on known metrics. Option D is incorrect because an RDBMS, like SQL Server or MySQL, is the underlying software that stores the data in organized tables. While you can get reports from an RDBMS, OLAP provides more specialized tools and structures for complex, multi-dimensional analysis specifically for reporting and decision support. 25. Which of the following cloud-based tools is typically used to allow collaboration across teams from different locations? A. Network interface card. B. Dropbox. C. File allocation table. D. Object linking and embedding. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer B. Dropbox. Explanation. Option B is correct because Dropbox is a well-known example of a cloud-based file storage and synchronization service that allows teams in different locations to work on the same documents, see updates in real time, and collaborate effectively. Option A is incorrect because a network interface card is a piece of hardware in your computer that lets it connect to a network and is not a cloud-based collaboration tool. Option C is incorrect because a file allocation table is a type of file system that organizes files on a storage drive and is not related to cloud collaboration. Option D is incorrect because object linking and embedding is a Microsoft technology that allows you to embed or link content from one application into another for combining information locally on one computer, not for cloud-based team collaboration. 26. What type of data is represented in tables that consist of rows and columns and can be easily queried using SQL? A. Semi-structured data. B. Structured data. C. Unstructured data. D. Big data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Structured data. Explanation. Option B is correct because structured data is information that is organized in a very neat and predictable way, fitting perfectly into tables with defined rows and columns. This tidy structure makes it easy for computers to search, sort and analyze the data using languages like SQL. Option A is incorrect because semi-structured data has some organization using tags or markers, but it's not as rigidly defined as tables with fixed rows and columns. Option C is incorrect because unstructured data has no predefined format and doesn't fit neatly into tables, making it hard to query with traditional SQL. Option D is incorrect because big data refers to extremely large and complex data sets. While big data can be structured, it can also be semi-structured or unstructured. The key here is the tables with rows and columns queried by SQL, which is the definition of structured data. 27. Which technology provides faster data access compared to traditional hard drives because it has no moving parts? A. Solid-state drive. B. Optical disk. C. Hard disk drive. D. RAM. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, A. Solid-state drive. Explanation: option A is correct because a solid-state drive uses flash memory chips to store data and has no moving parts, allowing for faster data access. Option B is incorrect because optical disks have moving parts as the disk spins and the laser assembly moves to read data. Option C is incorrect because a hard disk drive is the traditional type of drive, with spinning platters and moving parts. Option D is incorrect because RAM is volatile memory used for active processing, not persistent storage like a hard drive or SSD. (28) Which type of data is stored in a fixed format, often within traditional fields and records? A. Unstructured data. B. Semi-structured data. C. Structured data. D. Big data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Structured data. Explanation: option C is correct because structured data is information that's organised very neatly, like filling out a form where each piece of information goes into a specific box. When you have many of these forms, they all follow the same fixed format. This is typical of data stored in traditional databases in tables with rows and columns. Option A is incorrect because unstructured data, like a text document or a video, doesn't have a fixed format or predefined fields and records. Option B is incorrect because semi-structured data has some organisation but isn't as rigidly fixed as structured data. Option D is incorrect because big data refers to very large volumes of data, which can be structured, unstructured, or semi-structured. The fixed format specifically points to structured data. 29. What is the primary purpose of normalization in a database? A. To encrypt data. B. To remove redundant data. C. To analyze large sets of data. D. To increase network speed. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. To remove redundant data. Explanation: option B is correct because normalization is a process of organizing the data in a database to reduce or eliminate redundant data, which means avoiding storing the same piece of information in multiple places. This makes the database more efficient, consistent, and less prone to errors when data is updated. Option A is incorrect because encryption is about scrambling data to make it unreadable to unauthorized people, which is a security measure, not the purpose of normalization. Option C is incorrect because while a well-normalized database is easier to analyze, the primary goal of normalization itself is to structure the data efficiently by removing redundancy, not the analysis itself. Option D is incorrect because normalization is about database design and data integrity, not directly about the speed of the network connecting to the database. What does the term MAC address refer to? A. A computer's IP address. B. A unique identifier assigned to network interfaces. C. A security protocol for network communication. D. A type of firewall. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. A unique identifier assigned to network interfaces. Explanation: option B is correct, because a MAC address is like a unique serial number or fingerprint that's permanently burned into a network interface by the manufacturer. No two network interfaces in the world should have the same MAC address. This address is used for communication between devices on the same local network. Option A is incorrect because an IP address is like a postal address for your computer on a larger network and can sometimes change, while a MAC address is fixed to the hardware and is used at a lower network level. Option C is incorrect because a MAC address is an identifier, not a set of rules for secure communication. Option D is incorrect because a firewall is a security system that filters network traffic. It's not an address. 31. Which device allows computers to connect to a wireless network? A. Router. B. Ethernet cable. C. Wireless access point. D. Hub. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Wireless access point. Explanation: option C is correct because a wireless access point is a device that creates a Wi-Fi hotspot, allowing your wireless devices to connect to a network without any cables. It broadcasts and receives radio signals to communicate with these devices. Option A is incorrect because while many home routers include a wireless access point, a router's primary job is to connect different networks and direct traffic between them. Option B is incorrect because an Ethernet cable is used for wired network connections, not wireless. Option D is incorrect because a hub is a simple device for connecting computers in a wired network, and it doesn't have wireless capabilities. (32) Which network topology is characterized by a central hub that connects all network devices? A. Ring topology. B. Star topology. C. Bus topology. D. Mesh topology. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Star topology. Explanation: option B is correct because in a star topology, all the computers and other network devices are connected directly to a single central device, which is often a hub or, more commonly nowadays, a switch. If you draw it, it looks like a star, with a central device in the middle and lines extending out to each connected device. Option A is incorrect because in a ring, devices are connected in a circle one to the next, without a single central hub. Option C is incorrect because in a bus, all devices share a single common cable, not a central hub. Option D is incorrect because in a mesh, devices can be interconnected in many ways, often with multiple paths, rather than all connecting to one central point. 33. Which of the following refers to the ability to run multiple programs simultaneously by utilizing system resources efficiently? A. Multitasking. B. Virtualization. C. Multi-threading. D. Parallel processing. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, A. Multitasking. Explanation: option A is correct because multitasking is what your computer's operating system does when it lets you have several programs open and running at what seems like the same time. For example, you might be listening to music, browsing the web, and have a word processor open. The OS quickly switches its attention and the CPU's resources between these programs, making it appear that they are all running simultaneously. Option B is incorrect because virtualization is about creating virtual versions of things, like running multiple operating systems on one physical computer. Option C is incorrect because multi-threading is a technique where a single program can do multiple tasks or parts of tasks at the same time, like a web browser loading text and images on a page simultaneously. It's a part of how multitasking can be efficient, but multitasking is the broader concept of running multiple programs. Option D is incorrect because parallel processing involves a computer using multiple processors or multiple cores within a processor to execute different parts of a task or different tasks truly at the exact same time, rather than just quickly switching between them. 34. Which of the following describes a set of protocols used to connect a network to the internet? A. HTTP, B. TCP/IP, C. DNS, D. FTP. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. TCP/IP. Explanation: option B is correct because TCP/IP, which stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, is the fundamental suite of communication rules that makes the internet work. It defines how data should be broken down into packets, addressed, sent, routed, and received across networks so that computers all over the world can talk to each other. Option A is incorrect because HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol is a specific protocol used for transmitting web pages. It runs on top of TCP/IP. Option C is incorrect because DNS domain name system is like the internet's phone book. It translates human-friendly website names into computer-friendly IP addresses. It also uses TCP/IP. Option D is incorrect because FTP File Transfer Protocol is a specific protocol for transferring files between computers. It too relies on TCP/IP. 35. Which device is primarily responsible for filtering and forwarding data packets to their correct destination on a local network? A. Router, B. Switch, C. Firewall, D. Hub. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Switch. Explanation: option B is correct because a switch is like a smart traffic director for your local network. When a computer on the network sends data, the switch looks at the destination address in the data packet and sends it only to the specific port connected to the intended recipient device. This is much more efficient than just broadcasting it to everyone. Option A is incorrect because a router's main job is to connect different networks and forward packets between them. A switch operates within a single, local network. Option C is incorrect because a firewall is a security device that inspects packets to block threats. While it filters, its primary role isn't forwarding packets to their correct destination within a LAN for normal communication. Option D is incorrect because a hub is an older, less intelligent device. When it receives a data packet, it simply broadcasts it out to all connected devices, regardless of which one is the intended recipient. 36. Which of the following describes a unique address assigned to devices on a network, allowing them to communicate? A. IP address, B. MAC address, C. DNS, D. Router. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, A. IP address. Explanation: option A is correct because an IP address is like a unique mailing address for your computer or any other device when it's connected to a network, especially the internet. Just like a house needs an address for mail to arrive, a device needs an IP address so that data can be sent to it and received from it across the network. Option B is incorrect because a MAC address is also a unique address, but it's a hardware address tied to the network card and is mainly used for communication within the same local network segment. IP addresses are used for routing across different networks. Option C is incorrect because DNS is a system that translates human-readable domain names into IP addresses. It's like a phone book, not the address itself. Option D is incorrect because a router is a device that directs network traffic using IP addresses. It's not an address itself. 37. Which of the following is a form of malicious software that deceives users into executing harmful actions? A. Trojan horse, B. Keylogging, C. Denial of service, D. Phishing. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, A. Trojan horse. Explanation. Option A is correct because a Trojan horse, in computer terms, is a type of nasty software that tricks you by pretending to be something useful or harmless, like a game, a utility, or an important update. Once you run it, it secretly unleashes its harmful functions, like stealing your data, damaging your files, or letting hackers control your computer. It's named after the famous Greek story of the wooden horse. Option B is incorrect because keylogging is a type of malicious action that a Trojan horse might perform, but Trojan horse describes the deceptive nature of the software itself. Option C is incorrect because this is a type of attack that makes a system unavailable, not a type of deceptive software. Option D is incorrect because phishing is a social engineering tactic where attackers trick users into revealing sensitive information, often through fake emails or websites. While a Trojan could be delivered via phishing, Trojan horse refers to the deceptive software. 38. Which term is used to describe the part of the computer that holds data temporarily during processing? A. RAM, B. Hard drive, C. Cache, D. CPU. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. RAM. Explanation. Option A is correct because RAM random access memory is like the computer's short-term memory or its active workbench. When you open a program or a file, the data and instructions the CPU, the computer's brain, needs to work with are loaded into RAM. This allows the CPU to access them very quickly. When you close the program or turn off the computer, the contents of RAM are usually cleared out. That's why it's temporary. Option B is incorrect because a hard drive is used for long-term permanent storage. Data stays there even when the computer is off, but accessing it is slower than RAM. Option C is incorrect because cache is an even smaller, faster type of temporary memory that holds the most frequently accessed data from RAM to speed up the CPU even more. RAM is the main temporary holding area for active processing. Option D is incorrect because the CPU is the central processing unit, the brain that does the processing. While it has tiny internal memory spots called registers, RAM is the primary temporary storage area for data during processing. 39. Which type of data is analysed for trends and patterns, often used to predict future behaviour? A. Structured data, B. Descriptive data, C. Predictive data, and D. Unstructured data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Predictive data. Explanation. Option C is correct because predictive data analysis is all about looking at past and current data to find trends, patterns, and relationships that can help us make educated guesses or predictions about what might happen in the future. For example, a store might analyse past sales data to predict which products will be popular next season. Option A is incorrect because structured data refers to the format of the data organised in tables, not its purpose in analysis. Predictive analysis can use structured data. Option B is incorrect because descriptive data analysis focuses on summarising what has already happened in the data, like calculating averages or showing totals. Predictive data uses this to look forward. Option D is incorrect because unstructured data refers to the format not organised in tables. Predictive analysis can also use unstructured data, but predictive data specifically refers to the use of data for prediction. Which of the following is an example of a peer-to-peer network? A. A client-server network. B. A network where devices communicate directly without a central server. C. A network managed by a dedicated server. D. A network with a central switch. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. A network where devices communicate directly without a central server. Explanation. Option B is correct because in a peer-to-peer network, all the computers are equals. They can share files and resources directly with each other without needing to go through a main central server. Option A is incorrect because this is the opposite of P2P. In a client-server network, client computers request services or resources from a central server computer. Option C is incorrect because this also describes a client-server model, not P2P. Option D is incorrect because while a switch helps devices connect, the presence of a switch doesn't define whether the network logic is P2P or client-server. P2P refers to how the devices interact and share, not just how they are physically connected. (41) Which protocol defines how messages are formatted and transmitted over the internet? A. HTTP, B. HTML, C. FTP, D. DNS. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, A. HTTP. Explanation. Option A is correct because HTTP is the set of rules that web browsers and web servers use to communicate. It defines how requests for web pages should be structured and how the servers should send back the web page content so your browser can display it. Option B is incorrect because HTML is the language used to create the content and structure of web pages. It doesn't define how those pages are transmitted. Option C is incorrect because FTP is a specific protocol designed for uploading and downloading files between computers, not for general web page messages. Option D is incorrect because DNS is like the Internet's address book. It translates human-friendly website names into computer-friendly IP addresses. It doesn't define message formatting for web content. 42. Which of the following types of computers is the least powerful in terms of processing? A. Mid-range computers, B. Mainframe computers, C. Microcomputers, D. Supercomputers. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Microcomputers. Explanation. Option C is correct because microcomputers are the computers most of us use every day, like desktop PCs, laptops, tablets, and even smartphones. While they're pretty powerful for personal use, they're generally the least powerful when compared to the other types listed, which are designed for much bigger and more complex tasks. Option A is incorrect because mid-range computers, often used as servers for small to medium businesses, are more powerful than microcomputers. They can handle more users and more processing tasks simultaneously. Option B is incorrect because mainframes are very large and powerful computers used by big organizations like banks, airlines, and governments to process huge amounts of data and transactions reliably. They are vastly more powerful than microcomputers. Option D is incorrect because supercomputers are the most powerful computers on the planet. They are designed for extremely complex calculations, like scientific research, weather forecasting, and creating complex simulations. 43. Which of the following best describes system software? A. It is designed to run a specific task. B. It runs in the background and requires minimal user intervention. C. It helps users create and edit documents. D. It manages a database. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. It runs in the background and requires minimal user intervention. Explanation. Option B is correct because system software, with the operating system being the main example, works quietly in the background to manage your computer's basic operations. It handles the hardware, manages files, runs other programs, and generally keeps everything ticking along smoothly, often without you having to directly tell it what to do for these core functions. Option A is incorrect because this describes application software, like a game or a photo editor. Option C is incorrect because this is a specific task performed by application software, like a word processor. Option D is incorrect because this is the job of specialized application software called a database management system. What's the primary function of a network interface card? A. Provides a unique MAC address for network communication. B. Protects against unauthorized network access. C. Directs data packets between networks. D. Connects wireless devices to the network. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. Provides a unique MAC address for network communication. Explanation: Option A is correct because a network interface card is the hardware that allows your computer to connect to a network. A crucial part of this is that each NIC has a unique MAC address burned into it by the manufacturer, acting like a unique serial number, allowing your device to be identified on the local network. Option B is incorrect because this is the primary function of a firewall, not a NIC. Option C is incorrect because this is the primary function of a router. Option D is incorrect because while a wireless NIC connects to a wireless network, the more fundamental function related to identification for any NIC is providing the MAC address. A standard NIC is for wired connections. 45. Which of the following is true about random access memory? A. It is used for permanent storage. B. It is non-volatile. C. It is used to store data temporarily for quick access. D. It holds data in a fixed format. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. It is used to store data temporarily for quick access. Explanation: Option C is correct because random access memory is like your computer's short-term workspace. When you're running programs or working on files, the data is loaded into RAM so the CPU can get to it super quickly. But this storage is temporary. When you turn off your computer, RAM usually forgets everything. Option A is incorrect because RAM is temporary. Hard drives or SSDs are used for permanent storage. Option B is incorrect because non-volatile means it keeps data when the power is off. RAM is volatile. It loses data when power is lost. Option D is incorrect because while data in RAM is stored as bits and bytes, the idea of a fixed format usually applies to how data is organized in a file or database, not the raw nature of RAM itself, which can hold any type of data being processed. Which device connects different network segments and filters data to the correct destination? A. Hub. B. Router. C. Switch. D. Bridge. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Switch. Explanation: Option C is correct because a switch is a smart networking device that can connect different segments of a local network, or multiple devices, and intelligently filter or direct data traffic. When a data packet arrives, the switch looks at its destination MAC address and forwards it only to the port connected to the intended recipient device, rather than broadcasting it everywhere. Option A is incorrect because a hub is an older, less intelligent device. It connects network segments but doesn't filter data. It just repeats all incoming data to all other ports. Option B is incorrect because a router's primary job is to connect different networks, not just segments of the same network, and route traffic between them based on IP addresses. Option D is incorrect because a bridge is an older device that connects two network segments and filters traffic based on MAC addresses. Switches are essentially multi-port bridges and have largely replaced them in modern LANs due to better performance and more ports. However, switch is the more common and encompassing answer for modern networks. (47) Which of the following describes cloud-based storage solutions such as Dropbox? A. Local storage solutions. B. Browser-based file sharing services. C. Presentation software. D. Object linking services. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. Browser-based file sharing services. Explanation. Option B is correct because services like Dropbox, Google Drive, or Microsoft OneDrive are cloud-based, meaning your files are stored on powerful servers out on the internet. A key way you interact with them is often through a web browser to upload, download, manage, and share your files with others, making them browser-based file sharing services. Option A is incorrect because local storage means storing files directly on your own computer's hard drive or an external drive connected to it, not in the cloud. Option C is incorrect because presentation software is used to create slideshows, not primarily for cloud file storage and sharing. Option D is incorrect because object linking is a technology for embedding content from one application into another on your local computer and is not descriptive of cloud storage. (48) Which component of a computer is responsible for interpreting and executing instructions? A. RAM. B. Hard drive. C. CPU. D. NIC. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer: C. CPU. Explanation. Option C is correct because the CPU central processing unit is often called the brain of the computer. Its main job is to fetch instructions from memory, like RAM, decode, interpret what those instructions mean, and then execute them, performing all the calculations and operations that make your software run. Option A is incorrect because RAM random access memory is where data and instructions are temporarily stored for the CPU to access quickly, but RAM itself doesn't interpret or execute them. Option B is incorrect because the hard drive is for long-term storage of programs and data. The CPU pulls what it needs from the hard drive into RAM for processing. Option D is incorrect because the NIC network interface card is responsible for allowing the computer to communicate with a network, not for interpreting and executing general program instructions. (49) Which of the following is a method for enhancing website visibility in search engines without paid advertisements? A. SEM. B. CRM. C. SEO. D. DNS. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer: C. SEO. Explanation. Option C is correct because SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's all about making changes to your website's content, structure, and technical setup so that search engines understand it better and rank it higher in the organic search results. The goal is to get more visitors to your site naturally, without paying for ads. Option A is incorrect because SEM stands for Search Engine Marketing, which is a broader term that includes SEO, but also typically involves paid advertising on search engines. Option B is incorrect because CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, which is about systems and strategies for managing a company's interactions with current and potential customers. Option D is incorrect because DNS stands for Domain Name System, which is the Internet system for translating human-friendly domain names into computer-readable IP addresses. 50. Which storage type is used for the long-term storage of data that is not frequently accessed? A. RAM. B. Cache. C. Archival storage. D. SSD. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Archival storage. Explanation: option C is correct because archival storage is designed for keeping data safe for a very long time, especially data that you don't need to look at or use very often. Think of it like putting old but important documents into a secure archive box in a storage facility. It's often used for things like historical records, legal documents, or backups that need to be kept for compliance reasons. It's usually cheaper per gigabyte than faster storage, but slower to access. Option A is incorrect because RAM is temporary, volatile memory used for active processing, and is not suitable for long-term storage. Option B is incorrect because cache is very small, very fast temporary memory used by the CPU for frequently accessed data, not long-term archival. Option D is incorrect because while SSDs are used for long-term storage and are faster than traditional hard drives, archival storage specifically refers to systems optimized for very long-term, infrequent access, often with an emphasis on low cost and high durability for data at rest, which can include things like tape libraries or specialized cloud archival tiers. You have reached the end of our first question set. For the free complete exam preparation, visit our website link in the description, where you find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.